I wanted to make a little video talking about this shirt that I just got today, which says, manifestation works, and it doesn't work. And it's got on it a person kind of straddling the two brain hemispheres. And I've been really interested in the brain hemispheres for the last few years since learning about Ian McGilchrist's brain hemisphere model. And one of the things that I realized as I dove deeper into that model is essentially the thing being stated on this shirt. And what I realized was that where people get confused is when they confuse the two hemispheres world. So the two hemispheres live in very different worlds. The left hemisphere's world is based on things, essentially. Seeing things in terms of categories and in terms of discrete entities and objects. The right hemisphere's world is based on gestalts and overall senses of things, and a very wide, expanded awareness view. And so what I realized was that the synchronicities and manifestations and things like that are real. They are a real element in the world as it appears to the right hemisphere, much like things are a real element to the world as it appears to the left hemisphere. And whereas in some sort of out there objective sense, there's not exactly things. The thingness of things is a phenomenon that our mind produces in the left hemisphere. And it's actually possible to inhibit your thinger. It's possible to learn how to dial down the extent to which your mind makes things out of things. And you can look around at the world and see it without its thingness, which is usually not very useful because it's, if you want to pick something up, it helps if that thing has thingness. So it's not that manifestation or synchronicity isn't a thing. It's totally a thing. It's just not a thing. It's a phenomenon of perception and of seeing meaningful flows of the world interact. But if you try to take manifestation and say, now I can control my life and control the world by doing these particular things and get these outcomes. No, that's your left hemisphere trying to use manifestation, which is not going to work. The very nature of the sort of thing that it is that it can't be controlled in that way. The very nature of the sort of thing a synchronicity is the sort of thing that it doesn't amend itself to being controlled. And so it's something to dance with, something to notice, something to pick up on the meaning of and flow with. But if you try to pin down the meaning of it, you are trying to import something from the right hemisphere into the left, and it's not going to work very well. And so, as I sometimes like to say, don't doubt your perceptions. Your perceptions are what they are, but be very careful with what you think the implications of your perceptions are. You may perceive things. That doesn't mean the things are there, but there is thingness to them, and you perceive it, and that's part of your experience of perception. You may perceive synchronicities. That doesn't mean anything in particular about how the universe is organized, except that it is occurring to you in such a way that you are seeing flows of meaning coming together in some particular way. So that's kind of the insight that I had after looking a bunch of the brain hemispheres and thinking about the world. And turns out this guy, Raman Nazar, made a shirt that basically captures exactly that, which is pretty cool.